What's up, NBA fans? This is Neil Joshi with Boozers Basketball Podcast, and I'm here with Amir Motemini to give you our look at some betting props for Game 3 of the NBA Finals. How you doing, Amir?
Pretty good. Yeah, excited for this game three. We had a podcast earlier today with our recap on game two. So yeah, super excited to see these bets and these props.
All right, I'm going to share my screen, and we'll see what the lines are, courtesy of DraftKings.
Yeah, I'm not a big sports better, so excited to see what these outcomes may be. Neil's kind of more of our designated degenerate gambler, in-house specialist. So I would pretty much go with whatever Neil suggests and picks over my opinions, but we'll see. I think we want to have like a fun little competition to see who gets, the most right picks for game three. So
All right, so we're looking at a 3.5 point spread with the Celtics as the favorite. The over-under is 212.5. What are your early impressions, Amir?
I would take the Warriors just because based on my prediction of who's going to win game three, I said the Warriors are going to win. So I would automatically, based on that assumption, pick the Warriors. I mean, I think minus 3.5 seems like a lot to me. Um, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I would probably take, in terms of spread, more like a minus two or something. I don't know. What do you think? You see this more often than I do. What typical spreads look like versus money line, but I'm taking the Warriors, the plus 3.5.
I think if you think the Warriors are going to win this game, then you got to take the points in this situation. I think the spread is pretty fair. The spread in Golden State was around this number with the Warriors favored, and the corresponding adjustment seems to make sense to me. So I'm going to go with the Celtics minus 3.5. I think they are going to squeeze this one out. And typically, what we see with these games is if the Warriors are down late, they're going to be fouling. So I don't expect the Celtics to win by less than three unless we're talking about a game winning shot at the buzzer. So, based on the fact that I think the Celtics are going to take this game, I will go with the Celtics minus 3.5, which means that Amir and I are heads up. So we already have something to look
I
at for the
also,
games.
yeah, but actually, since I think the Warriors are going to win, I want to change my bet to money line because it's plus 140.
There you go. You got to
I,
do that.
I don't need the points. You said take the points. I think you said take the points, which I think that's not correct. I should take the plus 140 if I believe that the Warriors are going to win, right? Not that
Yeah,
I
you'll get
believe
a
the
better
Warriors are
payout
going
for
to.
that.
Yeah, not that I believe that the Warriors can lose less than 3.5 or whatever it is, right? So I'm going
Let's
for the
take a
money
look
line.
at some player props now. So Amir's on plus 140 for the Warriors. I'm going to take the Celtics minus 3.5. So here's a look at the points props for the key players in today's game. Looking at this, my initial read is to take Jordan Poole under 12.5 points. I
This
think
is just
moving,
points.
yeah, under 12.5 points for Jordan Poole. That's based on the fact that moving to the road environment of Boston Garden, you expect role players to have a diminished role in the proceedings of the game. And Jordan Poole, he had a great sort of stretch in the third quarter of game two, but I think in Boston, he's going to have a harder time getting to 13 points. What do you think, Amir? What do you like?
None of them. I'm just kidding. They're all. This is like so hard. um, I think. I think let's have you pick one more. Because I thought I initially just one popped that I wanted to take. I want to take advantage of the plus. I always like the extra, the better ratio or odds, or the less likely odds, right? The more money you get. So um, I thought Andrew Wiggins is more of the second guy in this series versus Clay Thompson because of the injuries. So I think I'm going to say if I think the Warriors are going to win, then I would pick Wiggins to get over 16.5 points. He had 20 in the first game, 11 in the last game. Didn't shoot that well, still got 11 points. So I think they'll need him to play well in order to win, but they also need, to your point, to Jordan Poole needs to play well for them to win too. So it could be Poole. Who knows? It could be Clay. It could be Wiggins, but I'm gonna go Wiggins. The other one too that just pops up as well is Al Horford for me. And so talking about, I mentioned in the last podcast that I think he's going to be the X factor. For the Celtics, you mentioned Marcus Smart would be that X factor, but first game he had 26, second game he had 2. That's 28 points. Let's do the average, 14 points. He's going back home, right? First home game in the finals, his first finals appearance. Pretty much everybody in the Boston Celtics first finals appearance. So let's go with over for Horford on 11.5. I think he's going to get somewhere between 13 and 14.
Got it. So Amir is going to go with over 11 and a half points for Al Horford. Meanwhile, I'm going to take Jordan Poole under 12 and a half points. And one more prop that we're going to be looking at is points, rebounds, and assists. Looking at this set of odds for the players, I'm going to be taking Kevon Looney under 18 and a half points, rebounds, and assists at minus 125. Do you have any picks that you like here, Amir?
I'm gonna. It's like I don't know if for Wiggins, it doesn't really get many assists, and sometimes he rebounds really well. Sometimes he doesn't. So I don't know if I want to continue with that one, but maybe continuing to root for Horford to get over 23.5. That might be a stretch, but if he's going to get those 14 points and it's going to be a close-ish game, I think hopefully he can get 8 rebounds, a couple assists, or even a double-double of 14 and 10. So I'm going to go with Al Horford over 23.5, but I'm less confident in this one versus the points for Horford. So
got it. So to recap, Amir's got the Warriors on the money line at plus 140. He's got Al Horford over 11 and a half points and Al Horford over 23 and a half points, rebounds, and assists. I'm going to take Boston minus 3.5. I'm going to be taking Jordan Poole under 12 and a half points and Kevon Looney under 18 and a half points, rebounds, and assists.
So, hey, Neil, actually, to make it even, can you go back to the player points and also pick an extra player? I'm going to put you on the spot. Just because I randomly picked Horford as well, because that stuck out to me. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Let's make it even, right? Let's have like 4 bets to 4. So you selected Jordan Poole under 12 and a half, right? What else would you pick if you had to, just putting you on the spot?
I would take Draymond Green under 8.5 points.
Why is that?
I don't see him being an offensive force during this particular game. He will have an impact with rebounds and assists. I would avoid taking it under on his points, rebounds, and assist prop. But when it comes to strictly scoring, I don't see him scoring 9 points here.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Cool. Well, thanks for indulging me, right? And so we'll see who wins the battle, after game 3 on Wednesday.
Thank you for joining us on the Boozers Basketball Podcast. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you after game 3.